Can you not hear Vinny's music? My audio monitor isn't working here for some reason. I don't know why. So normally I have a monitor on, right? Which means it plays Vinny's music back through my speakers here so I can hear it and it gives me some background noise whilst I'm sat here streaming. And I have it quiet enough that the mic doesn't pick enough, but loud enough that Lucy and I can hear it. For some reason, it's just stopped working today. It's showing me that the music's still playing, but that's just stopped working. So just kind of sat here in silence right now. All I've got is the computer fans. Can you guys hear it, please? Yeah, we can. Okay, good. So at least you can hear it. Fine. As long as you guys can hear the music, it's fine. If it's too loud, I've been dicking around with it to try and get it to work. If it's too loud, let me know, and I can adjust the volume. Welcome, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this okay Monday. It's reindeer, actually. It's a special day, actually, today, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. I was potentially going to not be here streaming today either and back tomorrow. But today is actually a special occasion for reasons that I wasn't aware of until I think it was someone brought it up in the Thanes a couple of days ago. Today is officially a 1-year anniversary since we did the first ever live stream from the Great Hall Studio. Right, it's the first ever one. So this time last year, we did 3 games on Saturday with Adrian did 3 games on Saturday. We did 3 games on Saturday with Adrian in the studio. I did the first one. I think Joe did the second one. Brom did the third, or whichever way around it was. I can't remember. And that was literally a whole year ago today. Because of the leap year, I was thrown off, right? Because it's not a day later. It's 2 days later because it's a leap year this year. So it was officially on the 18th of the 11th, 2023, we launched the Great Hall Studio. Which it's been a journey. I would say that it's still surreal to this day having that studio space, and it's a big shout out to all of you lot. That's why we still have the studio space. Why we're able to have the studio space in the first instance. You know, managing the books on a monthly basis is not the easiest when paying for that studio space and not grifting for a fucking 200 grand crowdfunder. But we'd rather just pay for it ourselves. But it's because of you lot that we've actually been able to do it, keep hold of it. And I think we're putting out some fucking good content. So I wanted to come on stream to say thank you, despite how I'm feeling right now. By the way, we're pretty sure it's been a fucking rough bout of COVID, but we're not 100% sure. I wanted to come on stream and say thank you to you lot for basically putting us in there in the first place and then subsequently keeping us there as well, because without you, we wouldn't be able to keep paying the bills and we wouldn't be able to keep having the studio. And I'd have to reconvert my garage, and I really don't want to do that because there's motorbikes in there and I'm not interested in doing that, really. Anyway, I've got to say some thank yous. Lucy's going to come and join me soon. She's currently sorting the kids out at the table for dinner. They're taking twice as long to eat because they're incredibly unwell as well. So she's going to come and join me, and there might be points where I stop for a second and let her talk because my voice, throat, everything's fucked. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Double stream. Yes. So in the meantime, I'm going to say some thank yous. Thank you so much, Hubristy, for the 5 gifted before we even got started. You're a legend. Thank you so much. Jill, thank you for the 10 gifted. You are a beautiful human being. I love you very much. Thank you for 10 gifted. You're a hero. Farmer George, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're amazing. Kianan, thank you for 10 gifted as well. You absolute hero. And then Pridders rocks up and flops his cock out. Thank you for 50 gifted. You fucking hero. 67, 80 off the bat. Maths. I can do maths. 80 off the bat. I'm so sorry there was no streams on Thursdays or Fridays. Thursday was literally, I think, the worst I've ever felt with a cold, which is why I think it's been a strain of COVID. That, as well as the fact that, like, climbing the stairs and I'm out of breath, and that's not normal for me. I'm normally quite active. I normally run up the stairs. I run up the stairs in the studio, for Christ's sake. And for those of you that visit the studio, you know how much effort that is. I run up the stairs there as well. I've been struggling. I've not left the house for 5 days.
Happy anniversary, darlings. Smiley face.
$5. Thank you for kicking off with a £5 super chat. You legend. Thank you so much. You're a hero. Hey, Cookies. How's it going, dude? Cooney, thank you for the 5 gifted as well. You're a fucking legend. If we can hit all the targets with an hour in, I might, call it an early start. I'm joking. Thank you so much, Cutie, for 5 gifted as well. You absolutely beautiful human. I'm sure I'm sure we'll get some Warzone playing soon. I'm enjoying that actually at the moment. Warzone. I've played a little bit on the weekend because I didn't want to do anything. I've actually sat here. I've been painting. I can't get up and go and do anything. I've missed the gym. I've not done any streaming. It's been fucking horrendous, chat. Horrendous. Thank you so much, Harborn, for 5 gifts. It sounds like flu. Yeah, I was aching everywhere. Like on Thursday morning, honestly, straight up now, I'm not too big to admit this. On Thursday morning, I was sat on the sofa under a blanket, aching from head to toe, shivering, sweating, teary because I had a headache that nothing touched it. It felt like someone was literally hitting me like this with an axe constantly. And I was like, this is not... I slept 2 nights in a row. I slept for about 3 hours. It was horrific. I don't have words for it. Dave WK, thank you for the 10 gifts. Harbour, thank you for 5 gifts as well. You legends.
Happy anniversary. Pulled the trigger and bought 40 purple dice.
Legend. Oh, I think we have got 40. I think Lucy's the stock, so she's probably more accurate than I am. So thank you so much, you legend. Thank you. You're a hero. We'll get them out to you ASAP. Right, new target, because we missed stream on Friday. Ready? Someone said screw your target. There you go. Hit that then, bitches.
Happy first anniversary. Who is playing who this week and which armies?
So tomorrow...
Bombardment.
Thank you, Pete, for the 5, by the way. You're a hero who drops this all the time. Tomorrow, I don't want to upset the AOS people. This isn't us cancelling AOS, right? This has been planned for a while. This isn't us cancelling AOS. Next week, we will return to AOS, right? My taste has been off on all sorts. It's the exhaustion that's been getting me the most. I'm a relatively fit guy. The exhaustion has been absolutely battering me, and it's Thursday. I was like, just fucking end it. I've had enough. And then thankfully Friday it wasn't quite as bad. So tomorrow we're not cancelling AOS going forward. This is a one-off, but it's 40k all week this week, and the reason being is because Eddie is going to be on stream tomorrow, right? Eddie's been trying to come back and play for ages, but he can only do Tuesdays because of childcare reasons. He can only come and join us on Tuesdays. And so I've been putting it off, but I actually missed the fucker. So I said, right, come in and do a Tuesday. Which one can you do? And we booked this Tuesday. So he's coming in tomorrow to play with his Necrons, and I'm facing him. And I don't know what I'm going to use yet. Something that's not too difficult. Because... the state of me, right? Thursday, Paddy's in. It's me, Paddy, and Joe. I don't know who's playing. I think on the schedule it's me and Paddy, but that means Joe producing 2 in a week, and I don't think he loves that. So it might be Joe playing Paddy. I'm not sure, but I haven't played Paddy in ages either. So I'll see how my energy levels are. And I don't know the armies, to be honest with you, at the moment for that one. I normally have done all the planning by now. I've done no planning. Surprise. Evan, thank you for 5 gifted. You're a hero. Chat, look at you flying. Flying right now. But thank you for the 5, Pete. Anyway, like I said, a year into the studio, if you'd have asked me 2 years ago, if you'd have told me 2 years ago that we'd be celebrating a year in a brand new studio that is... Are you happy with it? Yeah. Okay. Luce is here. If you'd have told me we'd be celebrating a year in a brand new studio that looks and feels the way it does, I'd have told you not a fucking chance.
Not only am I here, I am the last man standing.
Yeah, Luce has somehow managed to just avoid this so far.
Have I avoided it, or have I made very good choices with my food and rest and when to be outdoors, when not to be outdoors?
No, when it's this kind of cold, it's irrelevant. Like food choices and when to be outdoors... You sleep next to me.
I think you're just calling me a superhero in a really weird way.
I think you've just got some weird immunity to it.
Oh, superhero.
Yeah. She's stuffing her face with lemon cake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember superhero necessarily, but...
Superhero.
Man flu's man flu because women are tougher, aren't they? It's fact.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Actually a fact, isn't it?
Yeah, because women have the double X chromosome, which is where the immunity is. So men's XY chromosome means you have slightly less immunity than women do. So you're just... the weaker sex.
I'd read that somewhere myself, actually, to be fair. So there you go. Chat is saying, hey, Luce. Is your computer on?
No.
Not yet, no. So she can't see you yet. Are you going to turn it on?
I might not.
Then you can't talk to chat.
I'm talking to chat right now.
Well, no, you can't read chat.
If you take zinc, your sense of taste should come back sooner. It worked with me and my wife when we got sick couple years ago. Hope feel better soon.
I tell you
really
what, Evan,
interesting.
if I compare how I am now to how I was on Thursday, I'm literally a million times better. Mm-hmm. Thursday was a rough ride. And I thought I'd had COVID previously, and maybe we did once, but Thursday I was like, oh shit, if this is what people were going through. It was fucking awful. But then a lot of people told me that there's loads of weird flu shit about at the moment anyway, like loads of weird colds and stuff, so I don't know, maybe it's not COVID. We don't test because there's fucking literally no point nowadays. I've just stayed here for 5 days straight, not gone anywhere, wrapped up warm, ate, drank, done fuck all. We're laughing at.
You.
Why?
You've just said the very same clever choices I made, and you're like, I've been sensible today. I just said that as the reason why I haven't got it.
Well, that's irrelevant though, isn't it? Clearly it doesn't work because I've got it.
Happy anniversary, big boy.
Thanks, Tom. Legend. Fucking beautiful man. That Luce has been in an absolute element though. Luce has been fucking Florence Nightingale in the shit out of it.
I've been like...
A year on in the studio, what is your next big want to do with the studio? What is the next dream step?
That's interesting. That's interesting. The next dream step. Hard answer. I would like to, at some point in the future, I've got 2 dream steps now in life, right? Personal, professional.
One named Peter.
Personal, professional.
One named
This
Paul.
is if we sit outside of Hobby House, kind of, right? The professional one, Peter. Mm-hmm. I think the next big step for us is to think about a hire at some point, an additional hire, right?
Okay.
Finding an additional hire is hard. Someone who can paint or has another skill, because we've had other people do painting for us, and Joe's fussy and his standard's quite high, and people just aren't up to his standard, quite frankly. And he's like, I'm just going to repaint it all. I was like, okay, cool, fine, whatever. So that doesn't really help. If you paint for us and Joe repaints it, it's kind of irrelevant. Mm-hmm. I think actually what would be better for us would be someone who can paint, but actually their skill set is in, for example, editing or something like that.
I was about to say.
Someone who I could teach editing to. And then someone who can be another Joe on camera.
Sorry.
Here's a longer message to let your voice rest for a little while. I'm super happy for you guys. It's been such a great time hanging out and watching your content. Here's some more padding. Kill Maim Bern. Kill Maim Bern.
Thanks, Phil. I appreciate you. Thanks, Phil. You legend. Thanks for the $20, man. What a hero. Wee man, thank you for 5 gifted as well. So I think, and then if we can find someone who can,
I think the editing might, for me, outside looking in, the editing is more of a priority than the painting.
Yeah, so we've got someone who's painting now, and he's quite fussy. Joe is and I'm happy that he's fussy. Like, he takes pride in it, and I'm okay with that. And by having one person who paints, there's also a consistency that happens across the board, and so all the armies end up being a similar standard. Because even if one army's good, if one army's phenomenal, it can make the good army look bad. So having that kind of flat standard is also quite positive as well for content, at least. If I can bring someone in who can also edit, we then start to be able to potentially push out additional content, which helps the growth, etc., etc.
It might not even be about the additional content. It could just be you get sick, you don't have to shut down the shop.
Someone who I can teach. So again, I fucking adore Joe. Right, I'll get that out now. But someone who I can teach all of the stream prep stuff, all of the cameras, the tech.
Well, Joe not being able to do the computer doesn't make Joe any less Joe.
No, of course, no, absolutely.
So, yeah.
You know,
it's like having your shop workers. You can't make everybody a manager.
When you manage anything, you have to recognise people's strengths and play to their strengths, and recognise people's weaknesses and avoid giving them their weaknesses. And his weakness, unfortunately, is tech. And he's open about it. Like, this isn't news. He's open about it. His weakness is his tech. So we don't give him tech to do. Simple.
Yeah. Simples.
So if I can get someone who can come into the studio, this again sounds like I'm digging at Joe, and I'm not. But if I could get someone slightly more local, because Joe's an hour and 15 minutes away, right? So if I need someone to come in on a Monday or a Friday, it's a long way for Joe to come in.
Yeah,
it's a lot, you know. So it's actually easier if I've got someone who's within half an hour to 40 minutes. it becomes a lot more conceivable. Like, can you come in on Monday? Yes, of course we can. And we
Yeah.
can then start producing content on Mondays and Fridays. Wednesday's your sacred day, and sometimes even Saturdays, maybe. So that's like the next big professional is to bring someone in.
What about Mikey?
Roland, thank you for the 10. His commute's even longer than Joe's. It's like 4.5 hours.
Yeah. That's a long
I know
way.
for you people in the US of A, that's not very far, 4.5 hours, but in the UK, it's like a whole day.
It blows my mind how Americans see commuting.
Yeah.
Blows my tiny mind.
So if we're gonna have someone who's also another sort of Joe, like a Joe to me on the scale. Or actually, let's not use me because it's me. I want someone who's somewhere on the Joe to Paddy scale. Okay.
Yeah.
Both of them competent at 40k and the hobby in general know the rules very, very well. Right. Both of them have good camera presence for differing reasons. Paddy's a lead, Joe's a follow. Joe needs a person to bounce off and be his idiotic self, which is slightly staged, but it's endearing and we love it. And Paddy can be a lead, and he can literally take the lead and do intros and stuff like that, and be
Yeah.
nice and crisp and clean. So we need someone on that sliding scale.
Start of paying it back. Best chat. I still hate you all.
Thanks for the 5, Andy. Legend. Could you come to my workplace and explain that management idea, please? I could, yeah, 100%.
What about Tom?
What about him? Oh, in this perspective, who knows? We're just teaching Tom the deck at the moment, and I take a long time to train people and let people loose in certain aspects. And sometimes I'll give someone something once and then be like, yeah, you're not doing that again.
I have once again been given the box ticking training and then left in the corner to gather dust. So I am fine that my name hasn't been mentioned on this sliding scale. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have a beard. It's fine.
First of all, your rule, no boobs on stream, so it's hard for you to play if
Yeah,
you
but
can't be on camera.
I can deck it.
Secondly,
Deck the shit out of it.
employing you is more difficult when you have to stay at home and look after our children.
They're fine.
So Tom is Tom. We're training him. We'll see how he gets on. I don't like to rush things and people. We've done it in the past. It's bit
Yeah.
me in the arse. So
Yeah.
and too many people. I think there's a lot of people I think that want to try and use the channel as a springboard.
Yes. It's very annoying.
Filters off tonight, by the way. I'm grumpy because I'm sick still. So filters off. Yeah. Ask whatever you want. But yeah, that's the professional dream, right? An additional hire. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 12 months, but that's what we're working towards at least. The private dream is we need to buy a house at some point, really.
Yeah.
But that means saving for a deposit. You know how hard that is right now.
But it's fine because the older generations say if we just stop going to Starbucks, which we don't anyway,
I don't go to
and we
Starbucks.
stop buying avocados, okay, then poof, we'll save it for a deposit. Because that's how it is that none of us
Yeah.
can afford to get on the
How
property
many avocados
market.
do we buy? None, really?
No, they come in my fruit and veg box. I do eat
Like
them.
once a month?
Maybe not even that.
Once every 2 months?
Yeah,
Ish?
maybe not even that. Yeah.
How often do we go? I refuse to go to Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not going in Starbucks.
I refuse to use Starbucks, so I don't know how I haven't got a deposit already.
I don't even go to Costa because I really struggle to pay for tea and coffee that I could just make myself at home.
I really want to buy a fancy coffee machine, but the fancy ones that I want are like £500, and
Well-
I can't justify spending that on myself.
Pick a lane, babe. Deposit or fancy coffee machine.
Well, exactly. I can't have the fancy coffee machine.
Right
I
then.
want to save for a house deposit. Anyway, Richard Evans, thank you for the 1 gifted. John McCardle, thank you for 20 gifted memberships. You absolute beautiful human being. Thank you so much, dude. That means we hit 100 members in like the first 10 minutes, Luce.
We've had a week of it actually, haven't we? We had the lovely.
I'm done with this year now.
We've had the lovely Mrs. Plumber lady round because we had a leak in the bathroom, and that was like, before you come in here, possibly COVID. We're not sure. Are you sure you want to come in being self-employed? Yeah, it's fine. All right, I warned you.
Saray says, no avocado. What's the point of living in this kind of hell? Avocados are disgusting.
They're so good for you, though. Well,
I'm sure
I say
they
they're
are,
so
but they're
good for
vile.
you. They're so good for you once in a while because of the amount of fats that are in them. But you
I'm
can't.
sure they are.
Yeah, I don't think you should eat them very regularly because of the amount of fats that's in them.
Eggs. Just eggs.
What? That's the argument against avocado?
No, I just want eggs instead.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather have eggs. I've missed eggs. But everything tastes a bit weird at the moment.
Yeah.
So
when I had to have the camera up my nose for my phantosmy, I don't know if you know, chat, but I smell cigarette smoke sometimes. I've probably
You've
never
mentioned
it. No. So I had to have a camera up my nose. He put so much camera up my nose. I actually said to him, "Are you trying to find my arsehole or what? There's so much camera up there." He said that you have a sort of mesh sieve-like membrane that's here, sort of in between your eyebrows, and then you have smell receptors that sit near that membrane, and that's what picks up the smell. So when you smell it up your nose, it's actually your receptors at the very top that tell your brain what you're smelling. So when you get a cold, those receptors aren't working properly, and that's why your sense of smell
interesting. I didn't
can
know
go
that.
a bit mad.
Weird Man's a vegetarian. He says those green turds are horrible. Correct.
They're nice if you put sea salt and chili flake on them.
Adrian's here.
Adrian!
Happy anniversary, he says. I'm not reading it out like that, though, Adrian. Not at all. I refuse. What's the average cost of a house in the UK? More than most people earn.
Oh, my God, yeah.
By a lot.
It's crazy.
Thank you, Adrian, by the way, for stopping by and saying hello. And thank you for your efforts this time last year. Because it was only at the end of the weekend I was like, damn, we thrashed him. Like, he did every show.
He's such a good sport.
He did every show.
Plus, he's allergic to the dog and didn't tell us.
No.
I made the worst coffee and he didn't tell me, and he kept on drinking it every morning I made it for him because he's a polite American.
How do I ungift my membership? No, Saray, you want to keep it. Keep it. Adrian, yeah. Yeah, he flew over on, did I pick him up the Wednesday?
The whole week was such...
I'm sure I picked Adrian up on the Wednesday. On the Thursday, we drove up to Warhammer World for a Titans meet where we met John for the first. I think that's where I met John for the first time. Then we drove from Warhammer World back to South Coast Thursday evening. Friday morning we went over there to keep setting up.
Yeah.
Friday lunchtime we opened the doors for the Thanes behind the scenes. We hosted the Thanes behind the scenes for the whole afternoon till like 10:30 at night. We booted them all out. We came back in the morning. He did three game streams. Sunday he did 2 game streams. Monday did another game stream. Mental.
He's a trooper. He's a superhero.
Absolute superhero.
I bet you he'd laugh in the face of this cold.
I don't know, in California a bit soft.
Happy 1 year. Did you guys get the STD book?
The sexually transmitted disease book? Don't talk about.
It's a bit dog-eared now, but...
Don't talk about.
I bookmarked a few pages.
First time you've been called what? Polite. Absolute legend, though. What a fucking hero. If you haven't already, I'm sure all 200 of you have. If you haven't already, check out Titans.
He was so good. He looked so tired by the time he left.
Yeah. We
He's
fucking
amazing.
thrashed him. It's my turn to go out there soon as well. I just cost.
But it's all right. Stop buying the avocados and the fancy coffees. Poof! Plane ticket to
But then I don't have the money
to
for the
America.
deposit, at least.
Well,
I
pick a
can't buy a
lane
house.
then, babe. Pick a lane. Is it the deposit, the avocados, or going to see Adrian?
Slave to I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Slave to Darkness. The pre-order for Slave to Darkness is this Saturday, right? Is that right? Have they announced that on the Warcom page? I'm trying to find it now, chat. Hang on. Sunday preview. Chaos comes to the Mortal Realms. Yeah, Slave to Darkness is announced on Warcom. Okay. Which means we're allowed to talk about it from 10 o'clock on Saturday. If we were to have it. There you go. That's all I can say, Lord of Cinder, alright? So there you go. Broke that NDA. No, we haven't. We would be allowed to talk about it 10 o'clock on Saturday if we were in possession of it. Have you noticed that the monitors were not working as well for Vinny's music?
Oh.
It's really weird when it's quiet in here now, isn't it?
Why is it not working?
I don't know.
It's not working.
I rebooted OBS twice and rebooted the PC, and I couldn't get it to work, and it was like time to go live, so I was like, well, we're going to have to do without any music.
Oh, dear.
For an aeroplane that deposits coffee.
We only need like another, 5,000 of them. We might have a deposit. Thanks, Neil.
Yeah. See, Neil's in our lane.
Yeah, he gets us.
He's walked straight past the avocados, not interested. He's
The
on a
avocados.
mission. He's not talking to British Airways or, I don't know, Air Canada or whoever you're going to fly with. He's not interested. He's in the lane of deposit.
I'm a tad nervous. I'll never be able to afford a house. Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto, mate.
Happy anniversary, get T-Sen Summit good.
What?
What was that last bit?
Get the Sen Summit good. So I think this is a Midlands accent. Sen.
That's a Midlands accent.
It's a Midlandsy way. I think it's a Midlandsy way. There's a guy I used to know in the army used to say sen a lot. Get your sen. Get your sen. It's in self. Get the sen. Get yourself. Summit. Something good.
Summit might be Midlands, but Sen, I don't think I've ever heard that in Midlands. Could be wrong though.
Thank you so much, Paul, for the 666. Legend. I'd love to be in a position to work for a Great Hall Hobby House, be a 5-minute commute. I mean, it's within the 40 minutes I need, isn't it, Mikey, to be fair? Will you be using the casting couch when recruiting, asking for a friend? You can, if you want to come and sit on the casting couch, Kev, yeah?
Can I put my CV in there if I can find childcare?
No. No.
I'm teachable.
Yorkshire. Oh, there we go, yeah, it's Yorkshire.
I'm teachable. I'm trainable.
I mean, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trainable.
For
I'm
some
trainable.
things.
So trainable, yes, okay.
Yeah, but Joe's trainable for some things. They're chatting Yorkshire at you. Yeah, I thought it was up north somewhere.
You said Midlands. Midlands.
It's north
That's
from here.
No, stop it.
It is?
No.
Is it north from here? Is the Midlands north from here?
The Midlands is not north.
Is it north from here? It's a simple question.
You
Luce.
specified Midlands.
Is it north
I
from
knew
here?
I'd never heard Sen as a Midlands
Yeah, but
slang.
no, fuck off. You can't say I'm in the Midlands. I've not heard Sen. You lived in Coventry. The Midlands is a wide band of places.
Coventry, the middle of the Midlands.
Why is it called the West Midlands then?
Because we're on the western side of the
For a
middle.
ticket to the Titans.
Thank you so much, Roland, for that, you legend. So if you're the western side of the middle, not the middle of the middle.
I honestly think they called it the West Midlands and the East Midlands because it's otherwise far too big to police with one force.
Thank you so much for it. Too big, exactly. So there's a vast, like Derby and Nottingham in the Midlands.
Not big enough for an accent
In
to
fact,
change,
Derby
though.
and Nottingham are central Midlands. East Midlands, Ipswich, Norwich. Central Midlands, Derby, Nottingham. West Midlands, Birmingham, Coventry. Fact.
How dare you put us in the same league?
It's true, though. Thank you, Roland, for the $100, man. What a legend for a big red one. What a fucking hero. That's something you might remember. Yeah, do it. Is there any grey names in chat? Hands up if you're a grey name. 208 people watching on a Monday. Be off sick more often.
They've missed you.
I've also got the haircut of a homeless person right now. I had to cancel my barber's appointment.
Yeah.
He was so grateful as well. I messaged him on the Thursday when I was feeling like I was probably going to die on the sofa. And I messaged my barber and I was like, I've got man flu. It's quite bad. It might even be COVID. I'm booked in for tomorrow. And he messaged me back and he was like, if it's possible, I'd prefer if we rescheduled. And then he messaged me again going, also, by the way, thank you for being so incredibly respectful for actually messaging me.
Yeah.
Because obviously barbers are like self-employed as well. And I was like, well, you're self-employed like I'm self-employed. So if I come in and make you sick for 4 days, that's no money you're making.
And I think people in the sort of beauty and grooming industry, customers can be quite fickle. So I don't think they mean to be fickle, but I think so.
Anything past Watford Gap is Mordor. Facts.
So I guess for guys, because barbers, you don't typically have to wait the 8 weeks like women are happy to wait for things like highlights or roots or just a normal haircut. You'll probably just go into the next available barbers and get your hair done because it needs doing.
I just booked in for Friday this week.
So if if your barber was off sick, he potentially has a whole week's worth of customers that are just going to go and get their hair done.
So he was
somewhere
saying
else.
to me not too long ago, he went on holiday for a week. He doesn't go on holiday very often.
Yeah.
He's as bad as me for not stopping and just keeps working. But he's like, I like going on holiday because I get a break and I get to chill out. And I go abroad and somewhere sunny and sits in his fucking pants poolside. But he was like, I don't like it though, because someone will try and book an appointment with someone on holiday. They can't get an appointment. They'll go to different barbers. I'll never see them again.
And that's
Done.
the new routine is set.
Loyalty's done. Gone. See you later.
Yeah.
So, don't we pretend that the Midlands doesn't exist anyway? It's just no man's land between the north and the south. Yeah, essentially, yeah. It's where all the feral ones play, innit? Never ever cheat on your barber, facts. Yeah, so I now look like this is the longest this has been for forever. For like months now, actually. It's neck beard I'm growing as well, which is on brand, at least. It's on brand, all right? I've been wanting to dye my hair since February, still haven't got around to that. Oh, hey, Luton, how's it going, dude? How are you? I'm sure Northerners know where most of the money we don't have comes from. Midlands is Dunland, isn't it? Yeah. It's no man's land.
Right.
It's where all the barbed wire and dead horses are.
When it gets nitty gritty, I shall tell all the Midland folk, do not befriend a southerner because they're going to come to you because they don't know how to be nitty gritty. So don't be befriending a southerner because they'll turn on you. They'll turn on you. The minute going gets good again, they're gone.
You tell yourself that.
They don't know how to be nitty gritty.
At least it's descriptively accurate, the Midlands. Yeah, exactly. Mid.
It's in the middle.
It's in the middle. Have I not been on your channel for so long you've forgotten about me, just erased from all existence? What about, Paul? What about, mate? How you doing, dude? I want to grow my hair and look less a fat friar tuck fair. It's snowing up here, is it?
Oh.
Luce wants some snow, don't you?
I do. I miss it. I do miss the snow.
I like snow in the sense that if I don't have to go, if it's like my birthday, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and it snowed, I'd be like, perfect. Open the windows or open the curtains. It looks like a Christmas card. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Why? So I don't have to go anywhere. It can look picturesque. At worst, if it snows heavy enough, I can walk the dog down to the park and watch her with a little paws disappear into the white snow. But I don't actually have to go anywhere. The problem with snow in this country in general is that when anyone has to go anywhere, people are like, cool, I can still drive 90 on the motorway. In thick snow.
My favourite snow memory is living with my mum and my brother. They were both out at work. I had a day off, so I had the house to myself. And it had snowed, and I didn't need to go anywhere. So I got a pack of, it's a Scottish brand of shortbread, because I couldn't cook yet.
Yeah.
And a tub of clotted cream, and I just got a piece of shortbread, scooped a huge amount of clotted cream, and just scoffed that. Watching, I don't know, some Christmas film, probably Muppets Christmas Carol, probably, and just sat eating. I was so sick. I overdid it. I felt so sick.
Oh, not knowing your accent's Yorkshire. I'm sorry, Paul. I should be more grateful, especially after you gave me all those books and stuff as well. I'm sorry, mate. I miss snow, consistent snow. Last I delivered in it, fun. We've never really had proper snow down here. Really. I mean, we had it like, there was that year when we were in the last house, when I had to drive back from Northampton.
Oh, that was the beast from the east.
Yeah, when I had to drive back from the Northampton and it literally shit itself with snow. And this fucking grips me, right? So we were on course in Northampton when I was at Siemens I think it was on my Irish Managing Safely course. It might not have been, but anyway, it's irrelevant what course we're on. We're on course in Northampton, which is where Siemens head office was for the rail division. And it started snowing the night we were out on the piss. This is a bit shit, isn't it? It got quite thick. And then the next morning, it was still there. It was laid. And we went in and spoke to the instructor. I was like, how vital is the lessons today? Like, how quickly can you compress it down? It wasn't Irish Management Safety because we probably would not have actually asked that question. There was a course we were doing, though. Like, how vital is this course? I was like, why? I was like, because it started snowing again. And we're in Southampton and we don't have a hotel tonight. So we have to drive back in it. And the rumours are it's going to get quite heavy. Oh, I won't hold you here for long. Held us there till 4 p.m. By the time we got in the car, it was like 3-inch deep everywhere. It was fucking, it had shit itself with snow. I was driving a 3-litre twin-turbo V6 BMW rear-wheel drive
Is that the blue one?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, right. Google best settings for rear-wheel drive car in the snow. Pressed all the right buttons on the car. Got it all set up for snow. I then proceeded to drive what is normally, an hour and a half, 2 hours to get back from Northampton, roughly, right? The normally an hour and a half, 2 hours drive back to Northampton, but the snow was so incredibly thick everywhere, it actually took me about 5 hours to get back, right?
Wow, yeah.
But I got back in a rear-wheel drive fucking car that's a 3-litre twin-turbo V6, okay? And not only did I get back, but I got back in one piece safely, having not come off the roads or bumped into anything at all. We were watching people in cars literally spinning out because they were just not adapting to the conditions.
Yeah.
And people are so fucking used to now a car just driving itself that when they have a shitty conditions, they just fucking can't do it anymore. So much so that one of the main roads coming down, there'd been a big accident on it. So they shut the road and detoured off, which was great. Apart from they detoured us off into country lanes. Do you know what they haven't done for country lanes?
Salt the road.
Ploughed them. Let alone salt them.
Oh, no.
So that was an interesting experience. Got all the way back to the depot, checked up on everyone in the depot, and then once I'd done that duty of care bit, got in the car and drove back to the house. Got in. It was sketchy as shit.
Yeah.
But did it. It's called just not being a fucking moron.
The only bit of, there's 2 bits of snow driving that I've been in the car with you. First one was your Nana's funeral. 4 of us were in the car.
Yeah.
And I could feel the car juddering, wasn't really paying attention. And then it was our sister-in-law that said, oh, the tyres are spinning because the snow had been driven on so much. Yeah, it was just like an ice rink now. And then the second bit was bringing James home.
3 inches is actually probably considered quite a lot in the UK, yeah? You'll get shit snow in the UK. Surrey, we basically never get snow here, really. Like, depends where you're going to visit.
I miss the snow in Cov.
It depends where you're going to visit. If you're going to visit the Scottish Highlands in the winter, you'll get snow. If you're going to come down to London and the South Coast in March, you won't see a fucking speck. So you'll be fine. I've got a BMW now, but my Nissan was worse than the snow. 280 brake horsepower wheel drive and automatic. It was a nightmare. Yeah, the Beamer was automatic as well. It was not fun. The delivery vans were light as shit. At the back, any mud you get stuck, and people push the van out of cul-de-sacs before. Oh wow! I have a car now that would cope in the snow.
There's no snow.
There's no snow. I have a four-wheel drive all-terrain vehicle. It has a snow mode. It literally has a snow mode on it, and a mud mode, and a sand mode, and a limited slip differential. Lucy's like, I've got a fucking clue what you're talking about. Nothing wrong with 3 inches. Who's slagging off 3? No one's slagging it off, Carl. Just saying it's not a lot. I live where there's a few feet of snow every winter. Oh, wow. Where's that, Phil? Where do you live?
He's going to say somewhere beautiful in America, isn't he?
It might be like New Hampshire or something.
They get all the good stuff.
How are the 2 Harleys in the snow? In the garage, Gaz. Safely tucked in the garage. If there's risk of ice, here we go. This is the other thing I don't understand. Unless it's your only mode of transport. If there's risk of ice, the bike stay in the garage. I'm not doing it. Not worth it. What's the point? So. My Red Rover 216, oh wow, that's an old car, was shit on anything but a straight line. The best thing about living in rural areas, you have a reasonable chance of living near a farmer. Whenever it snows, guy in our street brings a tractor and bucket and clears it off. What a legend.
I remember when we lived in Hadley, you were away and it snowed. And I can't remember if you were on exercise, but I had to dig the front door out.
Fun fact, yeah. Fun fact, we haven't had snow since we've been in the new studio.
Said it now. You've said it now.
Not had snow since we've been in the studio. Which is good. I assure you we do not get all the good stuff. No, well, maybe. But yeah. I was trying to think the other day, right? Because when we were talking about this at studio anniversary, I was like, it doesn't seem like a year is that much.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like it's flown by. if you think about it. It's been a whole literally today, it's been 365 days since we were streaming in that studio for the first one. We've made tweaks and changes to the setup since, but I feel like it just doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Yeah.
Which is mad.
It's the whole toilet roll theory, isn't it?
I guess, kind of.
Because when you're born, you're a full bog roll.
But I feel like...
And then as you get older, you start to use up the bog roll. So the revolutions become quicker and quicker and quicker until you're eventually left as the pathetic cardboard inner. The end.
And maybe like 3... done. As your year gone.
That's it. Done. Poof. Done.
I was going to say something, I was listening to your cardboard inner. Fuck.
Interesting that you've tuned into the word inner.
So I feel like before the studio, when we were streaming in the garage, I feel like, would you say that the time we were streaming in the garage versus the time we've been in the new studio, would you say the times feel similar?
Yeah.
Yeah. The garage was 2 years. No, exactly,
yeah,
right?
No.
The garage was like 2 years. And the studio's been like a year, and I would sat here now. I'd be like, yeah, they felt about the same time, but they both felt like that as well.
Yeah, they have.
It's mad, isn't it?
I really miss coming in with my 9:30 tea round.
Do you know what? Right. So I love the studio, and I love you all for supporting the studio! ! Gift. I love you all for supporting us in having that studio. I'm very proud also that we don't paywall anything. Like I'm supremely proud that we don't paywall anything, and yet we still manage to have that kind of studio. It's amazing. You people are incredible. But saying that, and I would not change it, by the way. I wouldn't change it back for the world.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely wouldn't. But I actually quite miss the garage.
Yeah, I do.
Now, I feel like we've done really well at keeping the vibe the same. We dick around as much, if not slightly more, because we can be a bit louder and a bit more obnoxious because there's not kids asleep upstairs. So I actually... I feel like we've done an incredible... I was very worried about the channel losing its identity in the new studio, and I don't think it did. And I think that's a testament to the lads as well, as much as anyone else. But I miss it for a number of reasons. There's just something... There was something special when you took someone in the garage for the first time. They went, no. Like, yeah, this is what you've seen on camera. Like, no. You couldn't fucking swing a cat.
Yeah.
And they're like, no way. I was like, I remember when Adrian and Bridget came in for the first time. They're like, well, we'll do loads of streams in your studio. I was like, strap in. Open the door. They're like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what you got to work with.
This is it. If you need the toilet, go now, because you're not shimmying around.
Excuse me, sorry. This is what you got to work with. This is it. Yeah, the amount of people that came in were like, this is your studio. I was like, yep, this is what we're producing content from. I kind of love that a little bit.
You should have called it the shoebox.
Yeah, and there was something nice about because Joe and I would sit and have dinner before stream with you and stuff like that. It was just there's little extra bits that were quite nice about it, which I do like. I've got nostalgia, definite nostalgia. If you took me out of that studio, put me back in that garage, I fucking hate it. It's horrible. Don't like it. Not enough room. Don't like it at all. It's like 100% would hate it.
Yeah.
But there's something about it. I'm like, I kind of miss it a little bit. That's how we started, and I'm so glad so much of it's immortalised on YouTube because
it's almost unbelievable. If people were to stumble across you now in the studio that you're in, and then you maybe tape off what was the garage, they'd probably say that you've exaggerated how small it is.
So McCardle, when he first came here, which I think was
2 years ago.
No, the first time he came here was the time he came over to the house. Was the first time he came over for a random week, which was like sometime earlier this year.
Oh yeah.
And he asked if he could see the garage because I invited him round and made him steak, despite what the titles tell you.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, "Can I see the garage?" I was like, "Yeah." And I took him in there, and he went, "Not a chance."
Do you know it feels like so much longer that we've known John.
Chat's remembering the hoovering.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's that time, is it? 9 o'clock, Mr. Hoovering, yep.
I'm hoovering.
Yeah. Can hoover all day, wait till we're live on air. You made it work and your hard work paid off, worth celebrating. Thanks, Saray, man. You're a legend. I saw Hobby Collab hit 10k recently as well. Congrats to you lot. Yeah, the hoovering was one of those other things.
Yeah.
And then
must be
tea
9
round
o'clock.
and fucking ice creams and all. It was
Yeah.
There was something nostalgic. Like I said, you put me back in there now, but like, fucking, this is awful. I hate it.
Yeah.
But and we we are already more productive as well. Like we do double Liam and Joe shows because when we were here, I remember I'd be sat at my desk working away. Joe would show up, we'd let him in, and he'd just sort of sit over my shoulder. Inevitably, we both end up sitting there watching YouTube and like, oh, we probably should get ready for stream.
There was so many times I'd be doing some maybe like DZ work or home ed stuff, and I'd look over and I'd be like, that's a real productive corner I'm looking at over there. What are you doing?
We made it work though. It was I kind of there's bits of that where we weren't being productive. But it was quite sociable that I quite miss as well because Joe and I get to the studio and often it's quite work focused now, which I think is good. I mean, it's the way it should be. But yeah, it was. I missed the garage a little bit. But now the bonus because you said to me the other day, do I miss it? I think it was you, wasn't it? Recently, I spoke to, and I was like, no, I wouldn't have it back because like now I've got my airbrush permanently set up in there, and I do go in there and I put my airbrush on and I sit and I look around and I'm like, this used to be a fucking studio. How?
Yeah.
And then we had the old table when we had the Thanes in recently for the Spearhead event. We had the old table in the corner of the room. Oh, actually, we had it with I think we had the tuck shop on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But before the tuck shop, it was where it is now. And when we had the Thanes in for the live audience, which was before we'd moved that table, people were asking, how big was the studio? And I was like, well, if you imagine this was the table. They're like, yeah. I was like, the table was up against the wall. I was like, I could just fit down the side of the table. So the other wall was here. And I was like mapping it out. And they were like, no. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
That was all the space we had.
And you didn't even have the whole garage because behind the Kallax unit, there was probably
for a bit.
just some rubbish behind there and then a black curtain.
No, we had all the shelving and all the terrain.
Oh, so all the terrain was behind there. And then in front of the table, although it was shelving and bits and bobs for the channel, it still took up floor space. So you didn't really even have the whole garage as just the gaming table.
No, well, so I had to show John on the carpet where the things were because there's like marks on the carpet where the Kallax unit sat and stuff like that. So, Dats and Jess says, I liked your first setup in the living room. Which one, though? Like, I was thinking about this the other day. If you think about where Battle Report started, this is interesting, right? Battle Report started on the channel. Here's a little journey through time, chat. Actually, I wonder.
You had a guest come and play here in the room we're in now when we first moved in, and this was like the table room, if you like. And then a mystery pink stain showed up on the wall, and it looked like a splatter mark. And it reminded me of the original Cowpole, the pink sugary medicine that had to be redone because it's far too delicious and not really the right message you want to send.
Yeah, hooked on this, kids.
So that's my memory of gaming in this room. And I can't remember who you had, but mystery pink stain that went onto the carpet. Took me forever to get out the carpet. And I was torn between, why didn't you say anything, even if you opened a drink or, I don't know, a sweet thing of some kind and it just splattered on the wall. It's fine because we've got kids in here, so it's fine. Why didn't you tell me? Versus, thanks for letting me stumble across it, mixed in with, maybe he was so shy, didn't know how to tell me, but I found that stain. So that's my memory of you gaming in this room. Mystery pink stain.
Mystery pink stain.
Yeah. That's still on the wall. In some seasons where the sunlight tracks across a different part of the wall, you can see it. It annoys me so.
I'm sure it does. I'm just looking for how many of them I kept and how many I got rid of. Oh, so this is the first one. Don't worry, chat. I'll show you in a second. This is genius, by the way.
Oh my god!
Right, hang on. Okay, we're doing some sharing here,
Whoa,
right?
that is so old.
This is the first ever Battle Report on the channel.
What
this
year
is the
was
first ever
that?
one. So this was released it's unlisted right now. 6 years ago this was released. This is the first ever Battle Report on the channel.
God.
Does it give me a specific date somewhere? Does it do it? December the 19th, 2017. right? This is the first ever battle report on the channel.
So Ben's
right?
about 6 months old.
Ben's about 6 months old. And we welcome with a terrible camera angle because we didn't have much of a camera at that point, right? This is the kitchen in our old house, which is a 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to listen to the terrible fucking introduction that I did or the shitty intro that I made myself. We're not going to do that. We're not going to. Hang on. We go through the army intro. This is my old Elder army. That was my old favouriteest ever painted model until the one that I literally did today. Right? Facts. And then I wonder if I can pull Brom's Ultramarines. You'll notice the same ones he uses now.
Back when you were known as Warhammer.
Back when we were Warhammer, yeah, exactly that. I want to see if I can get a bit. There's a big flag that was by the table.
Yeah.
Yep. I keep forgetting. So this is where we used to, right? This is straight up. We used to fold out 3 4 foot by 2 foot tables in the kitchen that were on extendable legs that we would put above the kitchen table. So the kitchen table would be underneath this fucking set.
Yeah.
We put a 6 foot battle mat over the top of it, right? And then, like you can see here, this was our oven, team, right? This is our oven. But you can see the legs under here. There's a kitchen table underneath here, right? Straight up. Right, let's not keep looking at the table, Liam. It's fucking boring. This is me doing a terrible intro of some sort of shit narrative and a mission. Oh my god, memories.
Do you know, I don't know how we all fit in that house.
That was the old Warhammer logo, and there you go. See, I remember at one point, Brom with the shittest ever made T-shirt that I've done. It looked like someone just stuck a sticker onto a black T-shirt, but I got them made. They were mine. Mm-hmm. And then this cooker, I used to get criticised every single time there was a tea towel hanging on the fucking cooker.
I know.
Straight up.
Tea towel gate.
Straight up. Right, and this was our first ever battle report. Now, what was also funny about it, like, fucking Simon, look at that. What was also funny about it, fun fact, chat, like, you never painted an army. That was mine that I did. I know I've sold it now. Fun fact about these battle reports, though, is I used to finish nights. At 6 in the morning, drive home. Let's go main screen. So that was the first one, right? That was in the kitchen, okay? I'm going to try and go through the ages a bit. So I used to finish those. I used to finish the shift at 6 o'clock in the morning. I then used to go to bed, get up at 11:30 midday, feeling like shit after like 4 hours sleep or whatever. Once I got home, and then I'd get up because then you would go to bed because you had to go on nights, and then you'd fuck off on nights at like 6:30 in the evening or 6 o'clock in the evening, whatever. Someone would. Like I'd then start setting up. Someone would come over. I'd film a battle report from about 9 o'clock till about 12, half 12. I'd then tidy everything away and I'd finish at like 1, half 1 in the morning and then go to bed, and then you'd come back the next morning and that's when I'd film a battle report.
Happy birthday, studio. Here's to many more clinky beer mugs, party popper.
Thank you so much, Rambo, you absolute legend. Thank you so much for that. And also, Rambo's got a second Rambino.
Oh, Rambino or Rambino?
Rambino.
Oh, 2 boys. Yes. I remember we talked about you doing your battle reports while I was on nights because our shift pattern together worked out that we'd only get 1 or 2 days together every sort of fortnight. Otherwise, we were working or sleeping. So it was to try and get the most out of the time apart. Anything that you wanted to do it while one of us is missing. So when we had our day together, it was just for us.
Yeah.
Because I remember you'd be texting me at like 2 a.m. while I was on shift, and I'd text you back and go, "Why aren't you asleep yet? James is going to be up in 4 hours. Why aren't you asleep yet?" Yeah.
Because this is the sacrifice. I know this sounds fucking cliche or maybe a bit cringe because people are like, you get to be a YouTuber, stop you whinging. But like, this is the when you have to get it off the ground in the early stages. Some people are like, just launch a channel, 10,000 people start watching you, everything's good. No. Everyone's got to start somewhere.
That's a good joke.
So once we finished in the kitchen, we then moved on to the next location. Which, is the intro the same? Was the intro slightly different this time?
So how long did we do house number 3 for?
This is still house number 3.
Yeah.
And this was May the 7th. So this has been 4 months. I was like, I'm done in the kitchen. I can't keep doing it in the kitchen, right? And I used to, our platinum level Patreons were people that would pay £20 on Patreon, which for me was extortionate. I used to list them all in the video description because there was about 12 of them.
Yeah.
And then we would do the Element intro because I was sponsored by Element at that point. It's slightly more better produced, but we'll get to a point. You see all these wooden things in the background? It's because we moved into the living room, and now the tables would go over the sofa.
Oh, yeah. And that was when... So you first started off in the bedroom where you used our double bed.
That wasn't filming, though. That was just playing.
And I remember Kipping on the sofa, and Lee, who a lot of you, I think, have met.
That's an image.
He came down with a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea. I'd fallen asleep after a 13-hour shift, and he was like, please don't stab me. I'm very sorry. Here's some food and a cup of tea.
This is where you need to come. If you can come to the edge here and just have a quick look. They won't see you if you're at the edge here. This is before I'd found the gym, protein, or a barber.
Oh, wow.
That's an image. This is in our living room, and Sam looks like he's also fucking not slept for a month as well.
Oh,
right?
Sam.
This was in our old living room. Like you could literally see the TV there.
Yeah.
In the corner. That was our old living room. Right, there you go. That was our old living room, chat. So then, once we'd finished there...
Yep. How long did you do the lounge for?
I don't know. I'm going through them now to find out, because I know where the next one is. So that, I think, was that one. Which means we need to go to this page. And somewhere along here... Is it this one? Maybe not. Is it that one? Is it this one?
Before I'd found a barber.
Honestly, it's so bad, isn't it?
Great big bushy beard. I think Bron might be the only one that hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah, so this is the next location. Now, we moved into this location on November the 17th officially. Right? All this is unlisted
What, into
stuff.
the lounge?
Hey?
Into the lounge?
No, so we moved into, we've already talked about the lounge. This is where we move into the next location. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The office.
Yes.
Yeah. So you remember.
Yeah.
So screen share.
What shift work getting in the way of family time? Yeah, that sounds familiar. 9 years of heavy weekend nights as a family friendly to reduce childcare cost. Normal shifts weren't to better.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. Thanks for the 5 gifted, man, as well, you fucking legend. That does put us on 136, chat. So this location here, you'll see the door there. We rented an office space. And you know who'll be in this one? It's Ultramarines. Who do you think, chat?
Brom?
It's either there or it's more Ultramarines and Eldar on a different looking board. At some point, I'll find his face again. There he is! Creepy Brom. That was the next location.
Yep.
Right, so that was
rented space.
Yeah, that was in whenever I said it was. That was
17th of
November 2018. Right, it's a little journey through time. These few people.
Only a year then. So you did the kitchen and the lounge over the course of a year and outgrew that, and you needed. I wonder if it was. I reckon that was probably having a second baby with a school run now, plus shift work that included night shifts.
Oh my god, this was so bad.
I wonder if that's why the rented space, you outgrew it so quickly. Because we'd gotten down to a nifty little routine that I'd get in from work, open the shed, get all like the green screen out and everything, and then you'd set it up in the kitchen, and whoever did the school run was doing dinner because the other one wasn't home yet. I remember we had a proper little nifty routine.
Do you remember the next location?
Was it here?
It was here.
In this one?
In this room?
Yeah.
So the next location was in the office.
And this was Mystery Pink Stain.
There was the computer there in the background, lighting everywhere. That was the next location.
And was that Mystery Pink Stain in this room?
Yeah, and then the next location with really bad lighting was the spare bedroom upstairs.
Yeah.
Right, and it was in the spare bedroom.
And that was when
both of these were the table that I'd built.
Yeah, because you and Lee built the table. You didn't even sketch it, did you?
Yeah, Mr. the Warsmith Chris there. No, we didn't sketch it. We just built it. There he is. And then we moved into the garage.
Yeah.
So that's the journey of the channel. So the next one then, I think.
So what's that? 4 years?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe?
So we moved it upstairs 5 years ago. So when did we move into the garage? So that was upstairs. Did we do any battle reports in the garage? Or did we just start streaming in the garage? Because we had... So in that bedroom, that's when COVID hit. Because I did an episode for DZ where... I don't know if you remember, I did an episode for DZ where I started filming with Brom. We had to finish, because Brom and I would often film in 2 shifts. So basically... Because we had lives, sometimes he'd come over, we'd do the first, and it's Brom. He'd come over, we'd do the first 2 turns, he'd go home, he'd come over, we'd do the last 3 turns, or we'd do the first 3 turns, he'd come over, we'd do the last 2 turns. We'd do it across 2 days.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just easier for him to get away for a couple of hours and then come back and get away for a couple of hours, because filming does take longer than streaming. And we filmed the first half, lockdown. And I don't know if you remember, but I filmed the second half, where I built Brom, where I put my iPad on a stand and hung a t-shirt over it.
I remember.
Do you remember? We made a robot Brom. and I filmed it with him on video call on the iPad, and I had the iPad tilted towards the table, and he was like, can you just move that squad there? I'd move it for him, and then I'd be filming, and then I'd be like, Brom needs to roll 4 dice, and I'd roll it for him. And he literally dialed in so we could finish the game.
He is a true blue friend, is that man.
Yeah. He's incredible. He literally sat at home on fucking FaceTime to finish a battle report for the website, which was amazing.
He's amazing.
Yeah. And then we moved in, and then when lockdown finished, we moved into the garage. We built the garage out. There we go. There's a little mini journey through time. That's quite fun to do, considering it's a year in the new studio.
Yeah.
So when you see the studio now, when we put a game out tomorrow night, and you look at what I think is quite high quality, right? When you think about what I now think is quite high quality, and I just take you through that journey as to where we started to where we are now, we have done some shit in the past. Like, we have done some terrible fucking camera angles.
But it's okay.
Dreadful fucking colour grading.
It's okay, because you found yourself a barber now.
Yeah, I mean...
It was very wild.
That was an image, wasn't it, right? Warsmith Chris was one from the Endless Cacophony podcast. Yeah, that's the one, yeah. We used to have a Robo Brom, but Eddie can't be a robot. No, he can't be, no. Nope. Bigger. That's our journey through time. That's the multiple stages of battle reporting until we got to where we are now.
And that's taken 7 years.
I often think some people are like, oh, you did the garage and you moved to the studio. No. We started in the kitchen, dismantling the kitchen and building the gaming table. We then moved that same effort to the living room. That wasn't working, so we rented a fucking office space. That was when I got accused of basically being a porn producer. we rented the office space. We then moved from the office space to this room that we're in right now. Yeah. Literally this room. We then moved upstairs to the spare bedroom. COVID hit. We then moved it into the garage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. And that's when we got to a year ago, moving into a full-blown studio.
I think I'd have the same reaction if we went back to the house we were in before and just sort of stood in the house and thought, 4 of us were in here.
Yeah.
And there's more kit with a baby because you've got a pushchair, a car seat, the cot.
It would definitely feel crowded.
We
definitely goldfished. 100%.
And we definitely have goldfish.
Yep.
But you know when you think, we moved for a different reason. Because I think when you have 2 small children, you kind of just, they'll be fine. Well,
the house that we were in originally, before we moved into here, was literally 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah.
Which is what we could afford at the time.
Yeah.
And when we moved into it, we only had the eldest, if you think about it. The youngest hadn't been born yet.
No, we weren't even thinking
we weren't even pregnant.
Yeah.
And then we had the second kids, and fine, the kids' room fit both of them in. It did. fit them both in.
I think we would have eventually had to have swapped bedrooms. Put the two boys
that's
in.
Ultimately, that's why we moved, because we were running
Yeah.
out of space. Because the kids are 4 years apart, so... Yeah, you guys have been on a heck of a journey, kicking ass and taking names. Thanks, Marius. It's been... yeah, there's a lot of people... So, taking nothing away from the 200 people that are watching right now... Legends, all of you, by the way, because this is a nonsense stream. Taking nothing away from you 200 people that are watching right now... there's a lot of people who probably have only known us since the studio or the garage...
Yeah.
And haven't known the journey that's come before this.
No.
Where we started off YouTubing literally 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning because it's the only time I could get it in. Or actually started YouTubing because the little one was in a fucking, 3 weeks old, asleep on the sofa in his Moses basket. And it was my shift. So that's why I started making videos. Making bat reports in the kitchen, in the living room at that time of night because you're on night shift. It's the only time I could get the filming in without ruining our time, because I work shifts, you work shifts.
Yeah.
Because we both basically, passing ships in the night, both basically work the whole time. We have, I'm very happy and content with our life right now, to be fair, right? And a lot of that's down to you lot, so thank you. But it's not always been this way. And this is what I say to anyone who's trying to get started in YouTube, because I do actually get a lot of DMs and messages from people that want to get started. I'm like, if you're doing it for the right reasons, if you're doing it because you want to share a passion and you love it, fucking go for it. And if I can offer you help, I'll offer you help, advice, anything. If you're doing it because you want to be rich, this ain't it.
Yeah.
This ain't it, team. Right? If you're doing it because you want to share your passion for the hobby, you fucking crack on. And if you think that 6 months down the line you'll be in a mini wargaming size studio, it just doesn't happen that way for most people. Some people it does. Some people it doesn't happen for most people that way. It takes a lot of hard work and sacrifice in the early stages to get to a point where I then get to a point where I'm like, I'm not allowed to whinge about my life anymore because I get to do YouTube for a living, which is great. So it's not actually that hard. I mean, it's hard, but it's not that hard comparatively. I'd rather do this than be a paramedic, for example, on shift. Because those people are actual heroes, not like us lunatics that Ed streaming. But yeah, we started in terribly tiny spaces where I was playing the same army every time. That's all I had. Brom and I played so many Space Marines versus Elder battle reports. That's all we had.
Do you know what's amazing? I had no idea of what you were trying to achieve. I would just get in from work, be brave girl, go into the shed with all the tunnel spiders, get the green screen out for you. There was a couple of other bits I'd get out for you as well. So you'd do bath time. I'd get stuff out the shed. And then you'd set up, because I have no idea how it goes, you'd set up the green screen. I'd do story time. And then I guess I'd just sit in the lounge and watch telly while you streamed with Brom, or maybe I was on night shift. I don't know. I can't even remember it. I don't think I knew what you were trying to achieve. I was just happy to help you get set up.
Well, I think it depends what you mean by achieve. If you're all about in the moment, we're trying to achieve filming a battle report that I can put on YouTube. If you talk about what we're trying to achieve with the channel, I had no idea.
But I don't think I even understood the whole YouTube thing. I think I was like, oh, he just wants to film it with Brom. Or, oh, he's got a friend coming around. Okay, do you need your green screen? Or, I don't know. Maybe that's my secret to help support you. Just don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Don't ask. Just, how can I help? That's it.
Yeah. Hard One says, people just don't equate growing a stream studio to growing a small business. Hell of a lot of work, setbacks and sacrifices, absolutely. But yeah, I don't know what was... At the time, at no point, I think, in the YouTube life before we went full-time did I think the goal is to support the family and go full-time. And I think at any point, you'd have turned to me and said, you could turn this... I'd be like, fucking don't be stupid, because if it fails, we're all fucked.
No, I don't think I even understood the whole content online. I don't think I even understood that. Maybe I was just totally bewildered, constantly tired from night shift, and I maybe sleepwalked the whole 2 years that you did that.
Yeah.
And we never did live in house number 3.
No.
I dreamed it all.
We just, like I said, we just passed, didn't we? I'd finish shift, I'd come home and go to sleep, I'd get up, you go to sleep, you get up, you go shift. It's fucking horrendous for a while. We got through it. It's what we needed to do.
Yeah.
Garcy says, to be fair, my oldest video to watch, only 4 years old. Yeah, I've unlisted a load of shit. I don't get rid of it because from humble beginnings, I can do things like tonight where I show it all off. I've unlisted a lot of shit and I removed a lot of the past. let's put it that way. Moved a lot of the past for those reasons, right? So, yep. Yeah.
I think if you'd tried to explain it to me, I probably would have been a bit doe-eyed and thought, you want to do what?
Well, I still reckon I have quarterly, like, mild anxiety sessions where I'll look on the job market.
Oh, really?
Just in case.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like...
Well, it's always good to have your finger on the pulse.
Yeah, and I think it's a safer way to be when I sit here and I'm kind of constantly like, at some point the bubble's going to burst.
Yeah.
And I also am conscious of the fact that I'm responsible for a Joe. So
Yes.
I'm like, all due respect to Joe, I have a CV that should allow me to get employed at a reasonable salary. Mm-hmm. So if things started to look like they were going to go tits up, I'd probably job hunt before I'd push Joe into the working world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if I could then job hunt and sacrifice perhaps some of my income so that Joe can keep being paid for now.
I think...
And it might be that we have a conversation where I'm like, right, Joe, I've bought you 12 months.
I think me and Joe are quite similar in that we will happily turn our hand to anything that pays us enough, but we don't have the legitimate paperwork to back us up in the interview. And I think I have absolutely no doubt Joe would get a job
Of course he
very
would.
soon. But it's the kind of jobs that we both know he could do. But because he either didn't go to uni or maybe he didn't go to college and he doesn't have the paperwork to legitimise his skill set.
It's rough, isn't it? Because on the one hand, again, we know he could do these jobs. On the other hand, companies need to have filters in place to stop the risk of them employing an absolute lunatic. And sometimes, even with filters in place, people still employ lunatics. Yeah. I've also missed, by the way, Taganoth. Is that right? Taganoth has become a Skull Team member all by himself.
Oh, amazing.
What a legend. I need to update the tracker. I got too excited about everything that's going on and sharing the history with you all.
I think Joe would possibly feel the panic more because although me and Joe are very similar, we don't have the paperwork to legitimise us. I could get a job at Morrison's, go back to a care home, all of these minimum wage jobs because I top up the household income. You're the breadwinner.
Yeah.
In Joe's house, he's probably the breadwinner.
He is.
So the same job market we're applying for won't suffice for Joe.
No.
So
No.
is there a way you can put Joe on courses then to help sort of bolster his...
Yeah, but I'd have to legitimise the courses in the business.
Okay.
We can pimp Joe out if needed.
Thank you for the 2 Mr. the Armholio, you're a legend. We could, yeah. Yeah.
We should have a look at some courses, see what we can...
Well, I mean, maybe. We'll see. So there's a potential, if the business grows, for example, there's a potential that Joe could be put in positions of authority over people. At which point, we could legitimise it with some sort of supervisory or management courses in the future.
Yeah.
But also, again... And I'm not going to speak ill of a man who can't defend himself or fight his own corner here. But again, I'm also not going to put him in a position where perhaps it's not an area that he's going to flourish.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's, in terms of management in general, I've done the same at Siemens, the same at Rolls-Royce. I'm very keen that you don't take an individual and you go, you're doing this job now. And they go, I don't, outside my abilities.
Been watching since Titans first visited you. By far the best Warhammer channel on the web. Keep up the great work. Also put Sisters of Battle on the channel soon, please.
Okay, within the next 3 weeks, I'll try and get Sisters on the channel. All right, thanks for the $10, dude. What a legend.
No, I don't appreciate when you have a yearly appraisal. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Exactly where I am. Please leave me alone.
So some people, I believe, so if you take management, right? I believe management, I've had this conversation with my brother recently. I believe management is a 2-stage or two separate abilities combined to make a good manager, right? Management and leadership. This is a belief, by the way. This isn't based on fact. I'm not giving you scientific fact here before people start arguing with me in the comments, right? So I believe there's two. This is my own belief. This is something that I always worked on when I hired people in management roles, etc. Management, leadership are the two skills you need, right? And I believe you can teach management and train management. You can train people how to use management systems. I don't believe you can teach or train leadership. Leadership is something that comes naturally to people.
Yeah.
And some people, I believe, are natural leaders. And some people, I believe, struggle to lead and prefer to follow. And there is nothing wrong with either. There is absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with being someone who prefers and is safer and more comfortable being to be a follower than to be a leader. I don't believe there's anything wrong with that at all. And actually, I was one of those people who would sit down on an appraisal and be like, okay, you're our bottom of our pile. Like, you're the base level worker that we have. You're the highest in your grade, but to go any higher, you need to be promoted to a different bracket, which means you need to do other skills. And they'd be like, I don't want to. Like, cool. And I remember at Siemens, people were like, you okay with it? I was like, yeah, why? My last manager was pushing me to get promoted. If you don't want to, why?
Yeah.
If you're comfortable, why would I push you to be promoted? People often forget, you need the shop floor workers more than you need the fucking managers.
Yeah.
If you don't have shop floor workers, business doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, the store can't
right?
open.
So leadership and management are the two things that you need, and I think you can train management. I've been on management-based courses which should teach you how to deal with certain situations or teach you how to apply certain tools to certain situations, I should say. Leadership, however, is something that I believe comes quite naturally, and some people can stand up and a leader doesn't need to tell you they're a leader either. People just follow them, right?
Yeah.
If you tell people I'm a great leader, you're probably not. Fun fact, you're probably not, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, if you're telling everyone you're a great leader, you're probably compensating for something.
My favourite senior in a care home was very unassuming, but she was incredible. You could turn up to work and say, I've just robbed a bank, you've got to hide me. And she'd go, oh, for crying out loud, right, get in the cupboard. She was great. My favourite manager was a bit of a scatterbrain, but he worked better managing the bigger picture than he did managing the smaller team.
Yeah.
So my favourite senior couldn't do the bigger picture. She needed to be the smaller team. My bigger picture manager couldn't do the smaller team. He needed to be in charge of many moving parts.
Yeah,
he was just there's too much far-flung thinking for a small right now team.
Phil says, I'm an infantry officer and I disagree. I had to learn to be a leader, but I think I do it quite well now. I absolutely had to grow into it and wouldn't be where I am if people hadn't trusted me. I disagree with you disagreeing.
COVID reminded everyone how much we need frontline and little we need middle management. Shame most places forgot it by now.
More on that in a minute, Kaz. I've got a point on that one. Back to Phil's point. I don't believe that you had to learn to be a leader. That's not what probably happened, in my opinion. Again, Phil, opinions are opinions, right? They're like arseholes. Everyone's got one. None of them are necessarily wrong, by the way. I'm not saying that you're wrong here. This is just my belief system. If you're an infantry officer right now, you're doing well at it, you're naturally a leader. You just will be. It's how you got to be an infantry officer in the first place. You're naturally a leader. What's happened is the situations you've been in have brought those natural abilities and skills to the front. People are natural leaders. The things you would have learned would be how to manage situations and manage people. That's not leading, that's managing people. And sometimes one of the reasons why people perhaps get confused with what I'm saying is I don't do a very good job at necessarily differentiating the difference between management and leading. But management is the thing you can teach. Teach how to manage people, how to manage the situation. Leading people I think is a natural aura that exists. That's my opinion anyway, you know. Sometimes it's fun to follow people out of pure curiosity, says Paddy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Paddy, how much would the both of us love to put Joe at the head of everything when we go to battle?
God.
Just see what happens. What's the orders, General Joe? Some officers I met weren't natural leaders, more managers. Yeah, exactly. I kind of got that, Carl, before you deleted it. I assume it's because your phone's had an autocorrect spaz attack. Some people are better business managers versus people manager. People management.
Yes.
People management is where the leadership skill comes in. You can still teach people management, but that's where you get different levels of people management. Some people can just apply people management that they've learned, and some people are good leaders at the same time.
I think it's managers who are happy dealing with things like staff disputes, or there's too many people off on holiday or something like that. And then there's the managers that see those issues as someone else's problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, chat, we are 9 minutes away. Robert, that's a great name. I almost misread that then. Robert Townley Taylor, thank you for upgrading to Jarl Tim membership. You're an absolute fucking hero. I originally read that as Robert Townley Jr. And I was like, lol, I see what he's done there. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh.
But sorry, Robert. In my head, it was funnier.
Often is.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Luce. Thanks. We got anyway. We've got 8 minutes. Thanks, Saray. Thanks for hanging out, dude. As well, I love you. We've got 8 minutes before we're going to go. So if all 186 of you were compelled to gift memberships right now, it'd be greatly appreciated. To celebrate, of course, the anniversary of the studio and another number of happy years producing content in that space. Right? If every single body wants to gift right now, that would be really, really helpful. It's definitely to celebrate the anniversary and not to cover off the fact that I wasn't working on Thursday, Friday. It just shakes her head at me. Excuse me. And then we'll be back tomorrow. Liam and Joe show. That's fine. I'm sat on the chair drinking a hot brew, and he gets to talk. He talks more than I do often on those shows, so that'd be fine. I'll just give Joe a topic, then let him go.
Yeah.
I'll just sit there quietly. That'd be great. And then the evening, it's me and Eddie playing Warhammer 40k, which I'm excited by. And oh, hello.
Love these chat sessions you two have, so real and relatable. Really like the Warhammer content as well, OFC, and nice job on your diary project.
Thank you, The Novelist Truth. I'm so proud of that right now. The one that I finished today, if you haven't, right, you can head on over to my Instagram page, Liam Dempsey 40k, I think he's on Instagram, or Liam Dempsey Official, one of the two. It's linked in the video description below, and you'll see a better image of this, right? I was so proud of this today, I even walked into the kitchen and showed Luce what she was making dinner. Mm-hmm. Did I not?
You did.
Look at this. And she's like, yeah. I think she was seconds away from just patting me on the head.
I was trying to watch the consistency of my lemon curd, and then there's just a 40k model that goes like this into my line of view of, well, I have no choice to look at that. It's very nice.
I'm so proud of it, though. Like this, I think this is my most favourite thing I've ever painted on Instagram right now. Actually, I lie. It's on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm so proud of it.
I figured out we need to give Joe...
If you fancy a watch along, I linked you on Discord one of the best presentations ever on leadership. From the point of a submarine captain and how he gives order to the crew. Great video.
I'll watch that sometime, Eston. Thank you so much, man.
We need to give Joe a really inflammatory topic, and then he'll be away for the hour and a half. And I've got one. People who decant own brand ketchup into the Heinz bottle.
No, I only want him to go for an hour and a half, Luce.
Then you don't have to talk at all then.
Yeah, I don't want
He'll
to be
just
longer.
Go.
I don't want to be 3 hours. Eddie turns up at 4. Lone Monkey Productions, thank you for the one gifted. Ebflow, thank you for the one gifted. Taganoff, thank you for the one gifted. Harborn, thank you for the one gifted. Marius, thank you for the one gifted. That puts us on, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 143. Is that right? That's right, isn't it? That's how maths works. Thank you so much, people. And thank you, Esther, for the $10 as well. You're amazing. It looks good from here, thanks. That red cloak really pops. The problem is, right, these things are great for taking photos, but they're also terrible for taking photos. So take incredible pictures, these things. They're amazing. Oh, we've got merchandise orders for Dice, by the way. Okay. They take incredible photos of things, and I don't think anybody 20 years ago would ever imagine that you could take photos as good as you can on iPhones now, or any smartphone for that matter, Samsungs, etc., and take photos that are such high quality on these. And the amount of times now I see people that do digital camera, like a proper camera, iPhone comparison, or Samsung comparison, which one's the digital camera, you're like,
it's too close.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
The problem is, it does a lot of what's called, scientifically called, computational photography, right? Whereby it almost AI enhances parts of the image and stuff like that. Which means when you take photographs of a model, it's almost sharper than the human eye sees. So when you zoom in, you see lots of little mistakes where the brush has moved. That when I look at the photo, I look at the model, I'll be like... Either I need fucking glasses, or this is doing a lot of hard work. I'm like, where's this fucking... And then I'm getting the brush out, and I'm like, what am I correcting? I can't fucking see it. I'm correcting a thing I can't see.
Would you not want those glasses? Someone had them on Thane's
Yeah,
weekend.
Sean had
They
them.
were-
I can't stand them.
Yeah, you wouldn't want them.
Nah. I put them on and I couldn't see fuck all. So it didn't help me. Hey, Mini Wargame Dave. Thanks on your first year anniversary. I do know how to move, but not right now. I'm fucking so unwell recently, Dave.
Move?
Yeah, just move is his thing that he does.
Just move.
Just move, yeah.
Just move.
It's about getting fat wargamers moving.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Just walking or moving or...
I fear the issue stems slightly deeper, though, than moving. Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe.
Moving, if all you're doing is moving to the fridge to slam another fucking slice of cake in your face, probably not enough moving. To be fair.
I think
If
it's
you're just shuffling...
Deeper still.
If you're just shuffling in the queue at McDonald's.
No, deeper still.
Okay. Anyway. I'm sorry I missed you when you were in the UK, Dave, anyway. But I was busy, you were busy. Paths didn't cross. Anywho, we are pretty much at the end now. My voice is starting to hurt. I said to Luce, straight up, I said to Luce before the stream, I didn't know if I was going to make it an hour and a half. Actually, it's held up all right. It's not been too bad. Which gives me more hope for tomorrow, to be fair. So, I'm going to fuck off now and leave you all in peace. And stop coughing down the microphone at you. Thank you so much, you amazing human beings, for hanging out with us on the anniversary and for celebrating the anniversary of the studio. You're amazing. Big shout out, Pritters, for 50 gifted right off the bat early on. You're amazing. Roland for the $100 again as well. Incredible. We almost got to 150 there. You fucking absolutely wonderful human beings. Thank you. You're amazing. I love you. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back with the Liam and Joe show at 1:30. A live game in the evening. It'll be chill because I need it to be chill because I'm fucked. Wednesday, we'll be back with a Warhammer show at 7:30. Thursday, another Liam and Joe show. Paddy's back in the studio in the evening. So I got Eddie and Joe on Tuesday, Paddy and Joe on Thursday. What a great week to not feel great. Because it's just easy. It's just going to be fun, so it's fine. And then you were laughing like I was taking the piss then as well.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was being genuine. And then Friday, we're back with 40k After Dark. And then it's the weekend. What's this weekend? What's something?
We've got nothing. Oh, we've got
the
play
cousins
date.
are coming over. Yeah. Oh. I need my energy back by them
Yeah, we'll have.
because they are whirlwinds.
So we've got one 11-year-old and then 3 kids, all 9 and under.
Yeah, and they're
8 and under.
they're wonderful.
Yeah.
But they're this weekend I'll be like I can't. This week I can't.
It's
do it.
all
I
right.
don't
We'll
have the energy.
tranquilise the 3 little ones.
Yeah.
And then James sits quietly anyway.
The eldest is calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully by Saturday we'll be all right. We'll be fine. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. There's no loose fact on a Monday, Josh. It's the same every Monday. Will your Eldar be ready in time for Beachhead, or will you be taking World Eaters? For Beachhead, it'll be Eldar. It'll be mine. And it'll be ready. I at the moment, I'm supremely confident, right? So I've got almost 10 Wraithguard in all their base colours. I've done 2 of my main characters already, pretty much. Almost basically finished. Him and his little plume. Yesterday, I was feeling a bit shit. I didn't want to do anything. So I was just banging base colours on a big guy, right? So I'm pretty comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable that Beachhead, the RTT, I'm semi-comfortable for, which is mid-December. Oh my God. Anyway. It helps that every time I'm not doing anything at the moment work-related, I'm sat here painting, which I guess is still work-related, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's producing me content for Instagram and stuff, so, great.
And I'm on attempt number 17 for the socks chat. I was so close with attempt 16.
Right.
And then I have a little rule that if there's 3 mistakes in there, I'm starting again because now it's just becoming a bric-a-brac sock and I'm not having it. So, attempt number 17.
I feel like you might have set your bar a bit too high if you're on attempt 17 with just 3 mistakes.
This is a fantastic exercise in perseverance is what this is.
A number of attempts that were perfectly good.
No, attempt number 16, there was a ladder. You can't... Look, it looks like nothing now, but put a foot in there.
Fucking willy warmer. Wait, so your foot comes in this angle here?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get my fat on stream for you, chat. You haven't paid enough.
And then that's the heel, where your fingers are. and then that what I was knitting. So that's called the decrease, and I dropped a stitch, and then it ladders, and I don't know how to pick up stitches in the round, but I don't mind starting again.
There's nothing wrong with that one.
Because there's 3. So one of the garter stitches I dropped, then I knitted a hole into it. How?
Andrew, it's not attempt 20, it's actually attempt 17. I got her to stop dropping the first 3 attempts. So it is in fact attempt 17.
It's attempt 17. But it's fine. I don't mind it being attempt 17 because if anything, I get to exercise the 1, 2,
Exercise the
3,
demon.
4, 5, 6 skill sets before. So I'm just going to get really good at the first 6 things.
Right, who fancies raiding someone playing COD? There's 150 of you left. I feel like we're going to go raid. Mr. the Cooney came in there and dropped 5 gifted memberships.
Aww.
He's a lovely human being. And he invited me to Christmas drinks. So there's him and a bunch of video game YouTubers and video game moderators that are meeting up in December for drinks. And which one do I need? Where is it? Is it that one? Yes. And he invited me. Only because I went to that gaming thing at the start of this last year, I think it was. It's so long ago, yeah. And he invited me, right? And I was like, oh, you don't have to. I'm not even one of the crowd. He's like, no, but you know, you're a good guy. And he drops in so often. He hasn't got a fucking clue what's going on with Warhammer.
You're a good guy.
And he drops in so often and gifts 5 memberships, right? If you've been sitting on a few memberships and be like, I don't know if Liam's worth it yet, now's the time to splurge your load. Not on me, on him, okay? Not on me. So when we end the stream in a minute and I hit the end stream button, I'll dump the credits really, really quickly. Nothing to do with the fact that I want to go to bed. I'll dump the credits really, really quickly. We'll go raid Mr. the Cooney. Chris, his name is. I just say, love from the Great Hall. I'd love it if every single one of you could hit the like button for him and maybe gift a membership if $4.99 is within your grasp. I know for a lot of you or some of you it won't be, or you might not think it's worth it. It is Call of Duty's new Warzone. I've been having a blast on it, actually. Once I've been sat here feeling shit, I've played a couple of rounds over the weekend and I've actually enjoyed it. So I think it's a nice thing to do, a nice way to round out. Because he's someone who's sort of starting. He's on like 3,000 or 4,000 subs. But he still sits there with 10 people watching him live. Bless him. And he does, I think he streams like basically every single night of the week. We were there.
He's on that grind.
We were there years ago.
Yeah.
So he goes to a day job, he comes home, he streams. He went to visit his auntie yesterday because she wanted to see him. He did some work for her and then got on streaming in the evening. Not yesterday, Saturday. And so on and so forth. So he's on that grind. And he's a fucking lovely human being. So I think we can show him some love if you're up for it, right? I don't feel like we need a fancy phrase. Liam was coughing, so I came here. There you go. That's it, right? Liam was coughing, so I came here. There we go. Jobs are good in. You've been amazing. Thank you for hanging out with us. Like I said, the rest of the week should be normal content, touch wood and all that. And that's it. Anything you want to add before we go?
Best chat.
Best chat. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the Liam and Joe show at 13:30. If not, we'll see you in the next one.